Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Black Clover episode 144. So, last time we had kind of a lot of our other characters catching up with everything that has happened. We found out the bracelet that I was very confused about was just something I totally forgot about. It was the tracking bracelet they put on Asta to make sure that while he's training for the 6 months and doing the research into demons before they execute him, that he doesn't run or anything. She unsealed it, took it for herself so that way they can track her. Awesome, very cool. We had a very ominous message from that has me very worried. Where I wasn't very worried about these characters who are hunting down Asta and everything. This group, but we had an ominous message from Julius being like, don't forget, like, Yami, unlike last time, you're putting your squad at risk this time. Like, why would Julius say that? Like, it's so ominous for, like, this kind of thing where I don't really feel like these characters that we're going up against are, like, insanely scary. But, I mean, also, I guess they claim that they think the magic they're using was holding back. So, maybe the magic they use is far more powerful than I imagine, right? But yeah, and Asta is still sleeping, so, will he wake up before this is, like, taken care of and he gets into the fray, or does he sleep through the whole thing and they tell him about it after? I'm not sure. But, yeah, I'm interested to see where we go and what we get to see this time, so. And we have a confrontation between, Yami and Finral, I think it's the two of them, that just walked up on the girl that we've been having, what was her name? We had her name, right? Was it Dazu? I think it might have been. But yeah, let's get started, shall we? All right, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Yes. Wonder if this guy means anything. It just seems so random, but I guess it's just like maybe it's just a maybe it's just straight up a random person in order to show that, people are struggling, the ones that can't use magic. They're just trying to hang in there, or at least not use magic well enough to, benefit their lives, I guess. It's gotta be difficult, right? In a world of magic, we know they use magic, for a lot of different jobs and everything in this world, right? Like, we saw farmers and everything using their magic to, like, levitate tools and use it that way and everything. So if you don't have useful magic, I wonder how hard it is to get a job in this world, right? That part in the opening is so funny with Yami sparring or fighting with Charlotte. His opening song is great, though. Those who wish for the devil's demise. What an episode title. Alright, here we go. She is Dazu, okay. Well, damn. I wonder if I misjudged the first scene with that family. There was something about that scene where I felt like the husband and the mom were kind of rude, but they seem nice here. And she wants to avenge him that bad, so they couldn't have been too bad, right? I don't know. Maybe I just misinterpreted the scene. Yeah, I mean, what can you really say in that situation? Can't be everywhere at once. What do you mean by horns? Pretty much the same thing that she said, which is interesting. I mean, I guess you'd be concerned if someone said, like, horns. Are they all in on it? Or... Yeah, okay, that's just... Okay. They just don't want to help him. Good advice. Speaking of staying calm. That's creepy. Oh my god. They are pretty creepy, I will say. Just like grabbing some. Oh, is her name Marie? Oh my god. Maggie. Oh, it's not even Marie. Hmm. Is she gonna be like the... Ah, we have a sub-basement. Hmm. Well, they're about to find the bracelet. Yep. They're gonna use it. They're gonna send it somewhere else. Lead them astray. Hmm. Well, too late now. She wasn't so bad. Did they get some info, though? Hmm. Figure it out, guys. Yeah, okay, good. Borrow my wheels. Alright. I love how he just calls Finral his wheels. Are there even cars in this world? They gonna fight him? Jesus. They want to overthrow the whole kingdom. Oh. Luring Asta here. It's not good for you. You're spelling your own defeat. Although Yami could handle them too, I believe. Those two are looking at each other. Did they attach to a bird? Yep. The poor bird! Well, now they know. They can just teleport back, right? Thank God for Dazu wanting to put the execution on hold. Bo. Interesting. No, Asta's awake. Ugh, the sound it makes when he's crunching his head. I was gonna say, it's not devil panickers. Blush. Not the time for blushing. My nose is itchy tonight. Use force. Jesus. Alright. Cool. Okay. Ah, so this is one of their subordinates, too. 5 times his height. Will it explode even if Asta destroys it? Using anti-magic? Paper. Interesting. His face, jeez. Alright. So we're saving them both. And it wasn't magic, so his anti-magic didn't stop it. Yeah. Yeah, we saw that at the beginning of this. Although Dazu's the one that stopped it because they want to lure Asta out, right? Basically, they're trying to start a rebellion. Yep. Which, in a way, this is kind of why, I mean, I hate to say it, but why, I always get his name confused. Damnatio wanted to execute these guys is to prevent stuff like this. Right? I believe, anyway. Oh. Luring him out. Yep. A public, I guess it's both a public execution, which will also lure Asta there, I imagine. Well, damn. Turning into a much bigger deal than I thought. I'm really curious whether this is, like, whether this is filler or not, right? Like, is this little arc in the, well, I say little arc, but it's actually turning out to be decent length. I mean, it's only been, what, 3 episodes so far, but we'll see. I definitely feel like it could be either one, filler or not, right? But very interesting. Sister Lily. Is this new? I don't remember a lot of these visuals. When it first started, I didn't feel like it was new. But I'm trying to remember what the last one was. I vaguely remember this part, though. Maybe it's not new. Or maybe it's like... Anyway. That is it, guys, for episode 144. So, good episode. I was thinking about, like, Dazu's perspective and, like, the... what I want to talk about. I wrote it down, Dazu's perspective, but, like, I don't think it was just Dazu's perspective. I think that was just to, like, remind me of what I want to talk about, and I guess that note wasn't very good because I can't quite remember. I think it had to do with the, with, like, the hate for Magic Knights and stuff like that, with the idea that they want to get this revenge and kind of spark a rebellion, right? Like, it seems like I thought these guys just wanted to kill the devil, you know, sympathizers or whatever that they knew of, thinking they mean, you know, Asta, Marie, and Neru. Shit, Nezu? Why am I spacing on that name? Why? We've had it for... I guess it's because I call her Sekre, right? That's why whenever I see her, I call her Sekre. I think it's Neru, right? With an R. I have to remember so many names for so many shows these days. I apologize. But, I have Sekre swallow... Oh, Nero is bird. There we go. Yeah. Nero. Okay. Not bad. But yeah, like, they wanna kill all them, they wanna do it publicly. I thought they just wanted to, you know, kill them and that's that, but no, I mean, they're at the point where they're like, the Magic Knights didn't help us, and a lot of people are in that same position because unfortunately the Magic Knights had a difficult fight. They couldn't, you know, they couldn't cover the entire freaking country, right? But the people that didn't get help are salty and angry, and they want to... These devil banishers want to publicly execute these guys to incite a rebellion, while also luring out Asta, hoping he'll come save them, which will give them the opportunity to take him down as well. So, but yeah, like, it's, there was something else with Dazu that I want to talk about when I wrote down Dazu's perspective. I feel like it wasn't just that. But I guess maybe I'll remember as we talk. I guess another thing about Dazu is, like, in the first episode of this arc, when we first met Dazu and Bo, I felt like the way they were, like, holding each other, I felt like there was more there. And I, like, said something about it, and then I was like, oh no, I'm just wrong. They just care for each other, you know, because they lost people, right? Or at least Dazu did. But, like, I feel like there's something more there than just, like, caring for each other after she lost her family, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but did... See, that's the weird thing, is we saw a flashback where it seemed like she really cared for the family, but in the first episode of this, like, when we first met her, she was at a dinner table, and it almost sounded like they were ridiculing her, kind of thing. Like, they didn't sound very nice the way they were wording what they were saying, and maybe I just got the wrong idea, as I was saying in the episode, but I don't know. That's the vibe I got, so I wonder if, like, her family wasn't super great to her and she found comfort with Bo, you know, and they had some kind of relationship together. Maybe it was, like, hidden or something, because the way they spoke here, it doesn't sound like this relationship formed since the Eye of the Midnight Sun attack. Like, I mean, maybe it did, but their connection to each other feels like a lot stronger. Like it spans a far greater time than just the Eye of the Midnight Sun attack. I'm also not 100% sure of how long it's been since the attack either. Like, but yeah, interesting. I liked to kind of change the subject a little bit. I like them saying to like stay calm and everything. Like it's such a simple thing, but I mean, staying calm is really important in a situation like this. Excuse me. Especially when you're in a situation with, you know, a whole town of people that don't like you, kind of thing. You don't want to be too pushy, you know, you don't want to make them look even more down on you and everything, but I also talked earlier about this world and the fact that they what was it called? Calling Finral his wheels, which is usually a term you use for your car. But I guess it could be used. Like, I don't think there's cars in this world. I was trying to think back if we've ever seen a car in this world, and I don't think we have. Like, I think they just have, like, horse-drawn carriages, and then the people who have magic and are able to fly, right? Using brooms and everything, for the most part. I don't think we've seen a car in this show. I can't 100% remember. It could be one of those things, because cars are such a normal thing to see in shows that sometimes you see them and you just don't think anything of them. So maybe I have seen them and just never really noticed, but yeah, or never really thought about it. But yeah, I don't know. But I guess if they have horse-drawn carriages, technically those are on wheels, so technically that could still fit. But it was just an interesting phrase that I thought of. Like, it just didn't even dawn on me before when he called them his wheels. That, because I think it's only been a few episodes since he started making that joke, right? Like, I don't think, like, Finral's always been like a joke that he's like right there for Yammy's teleportation and everything whenever he needs it. But I don't think he's ever said, like, called them my wheels until recently. But yeah, I don't know. It was just interesting. It just dawned on me. I was like, usually that means cars, and I don't remember any cars in this world, but yeah. Very interesting. I like that Damnatio is realizing that some of his people might be involved in this and, you know, offering up his help, because, you know, last episode did a lot for his character where he was willing to give up his memories, like, very easily and everything to prove that he wasn't the one that took Marie and all that. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate that they're, I don't want to say like humanizing, because nothing that he's really done has like humanized him, but it makes him seem like he's a little bit more like on our side. Like, sure, I'm sure he still plans on executing Asta, but it's not just like, see, I was worried that when he first showed up, it was going to be something where he wanted to do it for like political gain or something like that, where, like, I don't know, it just felt more like evil, bad guy, like pointless decision kind of thing. Whereas now it's leaning more towards, like, I think he was just trying to help this kingdom by doing this. That was his way of helping to prevent something exactly like this from happening, where they held off the execution. It caused people to get angry, you know, and or if they never did the execution in the first place, kind of thing. And now people are mad and wanting to rebel. I think he was trying to prevent all this from the very beginning. But yeah, so, like, I feel like I've turned around on his character. Like, I still don't like him, because I'm pretty sure he still wants to execute those 3 as soon as, like, the 6 months is up or whatever. But unless he gets, like, enough, like, valid info. That's, like, the whole thing, right? Is they need to do, like, an investigation and prove that there's, like, devils or whatever. So that way they can, like, present it to the public or whatnot. But yeah, it's just, I definitely have come around a bit on his character, from, like, absolutely hating him to being like, okay, he's not so bad. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I think that's really all I have to talk about for this episode. I'm looking forward to seeing more. This is definitely turning into a bit bigger of an incident than I originally thought. I originally thought what it was going to be was I mean, I originally thought it was gonna wrap up in like the first episode, but then it didn't, and then I thought like, okay, maybe one more episode, but I judged that completely wrong, right? I thought they were gonna like take someone, Asta was gonna wake up from that sleeping drug, go after them, find them real quick, and you know, fight them, but also convince them that he's not this evil devil and that they're just like normal people that had shitty circumstances in this fight and did what they could to help save the country, right? And these people would turn a new leaf and realize, kind of thing. But it didn't go that way at all, and these people hatred runs deeper than I thought it was going to. So I think it's going to be even harder now. So I'm curious, really curious with that, hardline stance of how angry they are. Like, will this end with like changing their minds, or will this end with like arresting them, right? I hope it ends with changing their minds still, because I feel like that'd be very satisfying, but I don't know if that's where we're going with it. So, but anyways, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see early access, get some more episodes right now, and support the channel by doing so. Very much appreciate it. Also, Patreon exclusive shows if you want to see stuff that isn't released to YouTube yet. There's several different things on there. Check it out if you're interested. Link to that is in the description, or should be popping up on the screen. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.